everybody, and welcome to Witchy Wednesday with Seaside Shadows, our third episode to date. My name is Courtney, for those of you tuning in for the first time, and I'm the founder of Seaside Shadows, and I'll be your witch today. Today, I wanted to just recap real quick what we made in our first two sessions and show you what's going on with those items. So our first session, we did a cauldron cleansing, and you guys probably got a nice little view of the cauldron in the beginning of the video, and made some fabulous black salt to break curses and hexes, and also to break any negative energy in your life. And we do have little jars of that that we have for $5. Now these we haven't announced for sale yet, but if you tuned in last week, you saw that we made some healing brew in honor of the Egyptian goddess Isis, and it's made with all natural herbs, and you can put it onto your skin or put it into your bath, and look how lovely that is. Once you finish steeping those herbs out in the sun and you sort of sift all the herbs, you have this really lovely color for the healing brew, and that's a result of what we made together last week. And our cauldron brew, I told you this takes 13 days. So we're at day 7 right now. You can see that it's starting to change the color of the alcohol a bit. The herbs are getting a little less green, but it'll be perfect in time for the end of the celebration of May Day and Beltane next week. And that's what I want to talk with you about right now. So we are in the coming days in the celebration of Beltane, which is one of the great fire festivals in Celtic tradition. And so we often look back, and we have a lot of major holidays that go with pagan, druid, and Celtic holidays. And we recently had Easter, and we also often hear ourselves celebrating May Day. And May Day is essentially what Beltane is. It's the celebration in Ireland of summer weather coming in, warmer changes coming. But it all comes back, as all of these traditions often do, to a god named Bel. Now, Bel is one you may not be familiar with, but I guarantee you've probably heard of a Greek god named Apollo. And he's kind of like the Celtic version of that, though some say he's a bit more good. When we talk about Bel, he's a representation of the sun, or the god of sun. But what's interesting about Celtic people is they're not people to worship the sun. I actually really empathize with that, being pale and of red hair. Sometimes I call myself a vampire for that reason, but I just realized it's the Celtic peoples. They don't celebrate the sun in the traditional sense, but they celebrate fire and warmth coming in, and the seasonability of spring and what it brings. So we have the fire here. It's important that you have a fire on Beltane. It is a fire festival. This is when you start preparing for the warmer weather and for growth. We often think of Beltane as a sign of fertility, new beginnings, new life. And that's something that I think we could all use right now. So Beltane typically takes place on May 1st. It can go up through May 5th. You can start your celebrations on April 30th, tomorrow, and you can sort of start preparing by baking all sorts of things. Now, one sad thing about Beltane this time of year is it usually is a celebration where there's all sorts of dancing and rituals around the fire in groups. There's the dancing around the maypole. There's usually a celebration of people celebrating this coming, and a lot of us are isolated, but it doesn't mean that we can't celebrate Beltane. And there's a really great thing we're going to do today in honor of Beltane. It's a Beltane tradition through lots of witches over the years. It's something you can do with other people if you have them in your household. If you don't and you're alone, this is something you can do, and that's called wish boxes. So Beltane is the time of new beginnings. It's the time of setting forth what's going to happen with the warmer weather, coming out of the dark and going into the light. So we should be making wishes and setting ourselves out of the darkness that we may have been in the past months or even years, and thinking this is a time to celebrate new life. Remember, fire is transformative. Have a bonfire and make a wish box. So what we're doing is, in this wish box, embracing the idea of planting seeds into the earth to start something new. We're embracing the idea of something new for ourselves, and together we're honoring that idea of spring turning into summer. So how do we make a wish box? It's something that I want you to know, whether you live in a rural area such as I do, or you live in the city, it's something that you absolutely are able to do. And we're going to talk today about some symbols, some things we put into our wish boxes, and how they succeed. Now, I'm going to demonstrate two so that if you live in a rural area where you have a yard where you can plant directly into the earth, there's one option that is really organic and ideal for that. If you don't, there's another option which is perfect for your windowsill. So we're going to do two different types today. We're going to do one if you're in a bit more of an urban area in a terracotta pot, and the other we're going to do in just a small cardboard box. So it's very easy. The first step is you're going to need a little bit of dirt. Now, you can get dirt from your house, you can get dirt from the store, but just make sure you have some representation of earth in your box and in your pot. That's the very first thing, is we need earth to represent that we're planting our seeds of hope and our seeds of wishes. I hope you guys are all doing well. Make sure to sound off in the comments if you have some things that you want to wish for. If you think it's bad luck, you don't have to. But let us know if you could wish for anything right now. What would it be? Because we're going to address some different parts of life and what you can wish for. Now, this is just some general dirt, but I'm going to mix in a little seed dirt to help what we're about to do grow. So we have some dirt in our pot and in our box. What's next? Well, planting our wishes is the first thing. That's what you want down in the roots of it all. So what you want to do is first make sure, now you don't have to worry about putting holes in the bottom of your box, or your terracotta pot might have some, but you don't have to worry about that as long as it's organically growing in the earth and it's cardboard or something like that, you'll be just fine. But the next thing you want to do is write your wish. So just a piece of paper is all you need. Now, I've been thinking today all day about this segment and trying to come up with different wishes. So one of the wishes, I'm going to pick two of the wishes that I picked today, and so that I can show you what we're going to do. And you write down your wish, fold it up just a little bit, and that's just fine. And then you're going to put your wish in the dirt. I'm just keeping track of which wishes I'm putting where. So you put your wish in the dirt, but you need something to symbolize your wish. So we're going to talk about symbols. I put in one wish that was symbolic of hearth and home, meaning having perhaps a new home, or a home you want to change something at yours. Maybe you want to expand upon it. Maybe you want to change your home situation. Maybe you want to have a second home. I don't know. Everyone's situations are different. For us, we have the dream of having a historic home. So myself and my husband always talk about that. So I have in here a wish representative of home and hearth. The symbol that we're going to want, the totem that we're going to put in with our home and hearth wish that is written down on the piece of paper, is a thimble. That's the sign for home and hearth. So we're going to put our little sign in there, in the dirt with the wish. What's the next thing we want to put in? Well, we want something to grow. Our wish on paper and our thimble are lovely. We're planting them, but we need something to make them grow forward into the sun, which is what the god Bel reminds us to do. So we need seeds. Typically in this sort of tradition, you're going to use two different types of seeds. You're going to put some poppy seeds in there, and you're going to put some sunflower seeds in there. Now, that's a start. We're going to press them into the earth. I have dwarf sunflowers because I live in a single level house and I don't need my sunflowers to overwhelm the house. So we have seeds in there. But what about this one? I'm making a second one. I told you I have multiple wishes. Well, my second wish is just for a good old-fashioned Irish wish. Good luck. I would love for good luck to come my way. And I would love for things to come the way of my business. So what is the sign that you want to put with good luck? A cinnamon stick. That will bring you good luck. And you may remember cinnamon from some of our other rituals. So I put the cinnamon in with that wish, and I put a few seeds. And if you're thinking, Courtney, I don't need a home, or I don't need something with hearth and home as my wish. I don't need good luck. I have it. What do I plant? Well, we're going to talk about some of the other things that we have out here today that we're going to help you decide what to plant. I keep opening the wrong poppy seeds. I have two, and one of them is a little bit dark, and I'm going to save that for something else. All right. So we have two ultimately planted. What are your other wishes? Now, one of the other wishes that is very, very common, and I get asked about this a lot in my psychic medium work. Love, marriage. Will I meet someone new? Will I find someone? Will I get married soon? Or maybe you're just like, I really want that to happen. I know I'm ready. I need the universe to be ready with me. So what would you plant if you wanted love and marriage? You would plant any source of ginger, preferably some form of cooked ginger, gingerbread, cookies, ginger snaps, and you would put a ginger snap or a cookie in your wish box. So make sure you have ginger if love and marriage is on your wish list. The next thing, you may be looking for a new job, a new career. You have a really easy thing in your household that you could probably make sure will give you that. Pennies. If you want a new job, put 1 or 2 copper coins in your wish box. So love and marriage, ginger or gingerbread or gingerbread cookies. New job, copper coins. Now here's one that I admittedly will be planting later, and I have extra boxes. Abundance. We could all use that, right? We could use abundance, whether it be financial or in other things in our lives. Silver coins. That's what you want to put in if you're going to wish for abundance. What if you have a difficult task that you're worried about completing? What you want to put in, and I have this here, latex-free gloves. You want to put a glove in the earth. Gloves symbolic of work will help you complete a difficult task. We talked about the thimble being a sign of hearth and home. What if you are seeking the truth? What if you feel that there are people who are not telling you the truth in your life, and you really would like some clarity on that topic? You would put in some sprigs of rosemary, some fresh sprigs of rosemary, and that's what we have here. Health, healing. This is something that I think is incredibly important to everybody. Blue and green ribbon entwined together will promote health and healing and continued health in your body and in your home. And I will admit that this is something else that I plan to be putting together later in one of the boxes. And seeking knowledge. The apples aren't out here because we're wicked witches. The apples are out here as a sign of wisdom and wanting wisdom. Something else I plan on doing, if you're endeavoring on a new career, research, book, something like that, and you wish to be able to get all the information you need, plant an apple in your box. And what if you are missing something? Maybe something you inherited, something you can't find that you love. You want to plant a feather in your box to help you find a lost item. And we have some lovely feathers here. I like the symbolic peacock feathers because they're a sign of intuition, and that can help guide you to your lost item. And last, but certainly not least, we have a little jar here with tiny keys. A key is a source of protection. If you're feeling unsafe, if you're feeling unsafe in the world or in your home, and you wish to feel protected in your life, you want to put a little key in your box as your symbol. So there's a variety of symbols, and if you have any questions or don't want to rewind, you can always send me an email and I'll remind you what the symbolisms are. What we have going here as examples are cinnamon sticks and thimbles. So we have those items in there. What's the next step? Gotta put on my little gardening glove. I love to be one with the earth. However, I'll confess, I just took a shower before I came on camera, so we're gonna use a gardening glove from my dirt today. So the next thing, we're gonna put a little more dirt in. Just a little more. But we need something to make our wish come true. Something that honors Beltane, something that honors nature. And that very important thing is part of an oak tree. If you have willow bark at home, this will also work. So you want to put an oak leaf in. It's a little soon in the season for the leaves to be green, at least here in Connecticut. So here, we just found some trees that fell last fall, or some leaves that fell last fall, and we're going to plant those in here. I wanted to make sure I got a little bit of living energy from the tree, so we have some bits of bark that I'm going to put in here as well from the oak tree. So oak tree, oak bark, or willow bark will help with that representation of what you want to do. And then we put some more dirt on top of that. So it's nice and covered, and it's in there. I'm reaching into my magic bag of soil. All right. So that's buried. What's next? More seeds, because our seeds are now down at the bottom. So we want to put more poppy seeds and more sunflower seeds. You don't need much, it goes a long way. So we've got more seeds in there. We've got the oak in there. Anything else? Yes. Rose petals. Rose petals are indicative of the beauty of new life and of fertility and of love and of so many wonderful things. And they go back in Celtic tradition with the Beltane festivals. So you want to put at least one rose petal on this layer. If you have more, by all means, feel free to put more. We just picked these off of a fresh rose bush that we are currently planting. And then you cover it. You're getting there. Good job. So we've covered it. Do we do anything else? Would you believe me if I told you yes? You do. The next thing you do is put a little bit of seed and a little bit of rose petal again. And then you're almost done. You're done with what you need to do here. But are you done quite? No. But I'll tell you what you're going to do next because it will take some time to plant, but I'll tell you what the steps are to that and what you need to do. So we have the seeds there. We're going to put just one more rose petal in each. Make sure they're just lightly covered and in there pretty well. You can kind of take a look here that we can see a little bit of what we've done. We're continuing to put some dirt in, but we've got our rose petals and everyone nicely covered. Now, with all of that, I am going to put one extra in here because we are going to close this. The terracotta, I don't want it to blow away. If you already have a hole in the top of your box, you do not need to cut them. If you do not have holes in the top of your box and you have a perfectly sealed thing like a shoe box, you're going to want to cut holes so that your plants can come through. If you have your terracotta, no worries. So we have our box and we have our pot and they're ready to go. So what's the next thing? Putting it in the earth and actually following through on that wish. Now, hopefully you've got your symbol, you've got a little bit of oak, you've got your rose petals, you've got your wish written down. It's all buried in here with poppy seeds and sunflower seeds. So you're going to dig a hole 2 inches deeper than what your box is in the earth, and you're going to place the box. And as you begin to cover the box with more earth, and if you have more rose petals, this is a perfect time to put them in, you repeat this. Dream the dream that lies within. The earth awaken now. Hope that sleeps awaken now. The stars await, as so do I. Grow true, grow strong, grow toward the sky. And while you're planting the whole time, envision your wish coming true. Envision that new house. Envision the health and recovery that you want. Envision abundance coming into your home and making you not have to worry anymore. Envision the love that you are seeking in the person that understands you. Envision what you need and plant it in the earth. And then watch as it grows and reminds you of that wish. Now this is how we make Beltane wish boxes and Beltane wish planting pots. And I know that was a lot of information, but it's mostly about symbolism. A bit of earth, a bit of beginnings. Have a fire over the next 2 days, bake some bread, plant some seeds and thank the god Bel for bringing in a new season for us all. Now, before I bid goodbye to you today, I want to thank you for tuning in. I will definitely take some pictures of our finished planting boxes and update you as they begin to grow. If you enjoyed today's segment or you are going to plant a wish box, I would love to hear from you. You can send me a picture or anything of that nature and let me know, if you want to, what your wish is for. And if it works, I believe that it will for you. If you liked this and you're planting and you learned something new, tips are incredibly appreciated here at Seaside Shadows. All our video segments currently, other than a virtual tour, are free of charge. We want to share the spirit and spook with you as much as possible in your homes. But if you are able, we do accept tips. There is information in the description for PayPal and Venmo if you are able. Until next week, we hope that you'll join us over the weekend for our historic and spooky segments. But I thank you. Happy and blessed Beltane to you all.